Hey guys, what is up? My name's Michael. This is Chef Will. We're in the Will's Place kitchen. Will's Place is a nonprofit restaurant, and we like to employ all adults with disabilities. It's a very inclusive space. Come hang out with us today.
Hi, I am William from Will's Place. And here next to me is Chef Micheal. I am very excited to be here today to make spaghetti and meatballs.
Like Will said, we're cooking up our favorite cold weather food. Thanks so much for being with us, and we're gonna take you step by step through it all. You ready, man? Let's do it.
Sorry was easy then. Again and again and again.
All right, buddy, you ready to get to it? What kind of tools we got today?
A sliver, a peeler, a knife, and cutting board.
Okay, cool. What are you working on? You want to do the celery? Okay, cool. If you do celery, I'll do some of the carrots. So today we're going to be using what's called a meatball in our meatball mix. It's a mix of carrots, celery, onions. It's a very classic thing to add in a lot of flavor to a dish. You see it very classically in like chicken noodle soup. So we got some carrots here we're peeling. You don't need too many. I think this recipe is maybe 2 or 3. It depends on how much you're making. So Will's chopping away at our celery here. Ultimately, this whole thing's gonna get blended up, so it doesn't necessarily matter how small you can make it. So at the end of the day, it's about a cup of each. Once they're all chopped up and blended. Got some of my carrots here peeled. So you chop those up for me later. We've also got some peeled garlic here. We got, like I said, some onion. We got some parsley we'll throw in. There's also a bunch of different ingredients that go into meatballs, right? Another very classic thing is we're gonna make is called a panade, which is eggs, milk, and breadcrumbs. That'll act as a binder, really hold it all together. So here we go. We'll just keep on chopping, man. We're gonna go ahead and make our panade here, right? I'm gonna need your help for a little bit though. Keep going. So I'm adding in my breadcrumbs here. I'm adding in my milk. It's about a cup of each. Essentially, you're making a paste. We're gonna crack some eggs. And like I said, this is gonna add as like make a binder for it. So I've got some spoons, or you could use a fork or a whisk, either one. It's a pretty rustic dish, so it doesn't really matter too much, right? So we make this dish all the time at Will's Place, especially when the weather starts getting cold. So here we see we got our nice paste. This is gonna add a lot of moisture to it. The bread, a lot of people use soaked bread or oatmeal even. We're gonna use oatmeal. Okay, cool. And then we've also got our cheese, right? We got some Parmesan cheese that'll go into our mix. We got some seasoning too, salt. You know the deal. Salt, oregano. Nothing crazy. We got some pepper here. Maybe about a tablespoon of each. Again, depends on how big your recipe is, right? So Willie's chopping away. Once you're chopped, you want to throw some in here? All right, cool. I'm gonna take our panade away. Will's a pretty good chopper. Notice how he's keeping his board nice and clean, staying organized. He's using that claw to hold them down. Pretty good knife cuts here too, man. Will's got some good cuts. Will's always prepared. We got a garbage bowl here in case you got any scraps. Awesome for stock making, right? Save your veggie scraps. So again, you just chop them into nice big chunks. Doesn't even matter how small they are, right? Because we're blending them all. Just chuck them in there. Nice. What do you think? 2 or 3 maybe? Okay. So for our meatball mix, dude, we're using the ground pork, ground beef. Really awesome mix. Just standard 80-20. Nothing crazy. We're gonna add our panade mix in with all of that, right? Great. So it's essentially like three kinds of items, right? We've got all our wet ingredients and our seasonings. It's looking good already, right? Nice cheese bread paste. So like I said, this is all gonna act as like a moisture, as binder, give it some body. So we're gonna add that in with our ground beef and our ground pork here. And all this will get mixed in with all those awesome veggies Will's doing. I've got some parsley here we're gonna chop as well. You could add in any kind of herb. We've got some basil, maybe some parsley here. We're gonna add it in. Again, we'll add it into this mix that Will's got. Try not to get any stems, so you got your parsley here, just kind of ripping leaves off. A couple pieces of basil. Again, it's a pretty rustic dish. Don't need to go too crazy with anything. So we got, like I said, those herbs in there. Fresh herbs, really elevated dish. Really awesome. And that fresh flavor to it, especially if something like this, dude, you're cooking it in the cold weather, you want something green. Nice flavor to it. Alright, I'm gonna chop your onion. You want to start buzzing up your veggies? Go ahead and bring it to the roll crew. Nice. Pop it up. You want to show them what it looks like? You're not looking for big chunks. Nothing too massive. Nice and small pieces. It looks good. We're gonna chop our onion. You want to get this into our mix here, and this will go here. Will this will go right into our mix here? You want to swing around? Swing around this man. I'll take your blade. Always be careful when you're using something like this, right, guys? Very sharp. Awesome, man. Looks good. Here, you want to take this, put it off to the side? Cool. Okay, I'm gonna get our onion chopped. So you always like top and tail stuff, right? You're cutting the top, the bottom off, cutting it down the middle. Onions are kind of tricky sometimes, right? Right. So they got all these layers here. It's always nice to practice your knife cuts. But again, we're throwing it in the blender, right? So it doesn't have to be crazy. So we're just gonna cut it into nice slices. Nothing fancy. Cool. You don't want too much onions in there, right? Make you cry. Alright, cool. A little bit. I'm gonna do about, 3/4 of an onion. Nothing crazy. I like to do the onions last, totally separate, because if you blend them with everything, right, it's a little mushy. Just be careful with it. A lot of moisture in the onions, right? There you go. Again, same thing, right? Yeah, you got it. Don't want them too small, right? That's perfect. You want to stop it? Awesome. What we got? Ooh, great. Perfect. And yeah, scrape all those edges. Will's using a red spatula. We haven't used rubber spatula. We haven't talked about, but that's a really handy tool. Notice how he's scraping down the edges, trying to get all those extra bits, right? Nice. Looks good, man. I got you. Perfect. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. You're crying, huh? Don't cry too much. It's meatballs. So now we're mixing, right? We got all our ingredients in. We're just hitting it, right? We're just giving it a good mix. Again, all that, the egg, that milk will act as a mix, the binder, and also it'll add a bunch of that moisture to it. We're gonna mix this all until combined. Again, you could toss this into a big KitchenAid mixer if you wanted to. It's a good sized batch here. Those vegetables, when they're cooked, they'll release all their awesome sugars, all that flavor. Same with all those herbs and spices, the garlic, that oregano. They'll really start to bloom, all those flavors will really come out. So we've got this awesome mix here. Doesn't take long, comes together pretty quick, right? Not bad, huh, Will? Alright, cool. So we got our scoop here. Always try to wear gloves when you're doing something like this. We got our tray right behind him. A lot of ways to cook a meatball. You could braise them, right? You could roast them in a pan. We cook them in the oven, right? We cook them in the oven for a little bit, maybe 10-15 minutes, and then we swim them in the sauce. So they cook in the sauce for a while too. So Will's gonna scoop some out. You wanna do like 10 or so? Yeah, make sure good scoops, nice portions, and then we're just lining them up, right? There you go. How many are we doing? We said 10. Are you hungry? You want 12 or something? So Will's getting them nice and portioned with his scooper, and then we'll come back through. Everybody likes a little teamwork, right? We'll come back through, yeah, anywhere you got them. Come back through, shape them up a little bit. These freeze really well. It does seem like a little bit of work to get to this point. We did make a few dishes, right? But good to make in a big batch. They freeze awesome. Put them in a sauce, very Very fun last minute dinner idea. We're also making these in November, right? We're doing an awesome pasta night here. So come join us then, it'll be super fun. Nice, that's probably good, right? Awesome, dude, not bad. All right, you wanna season them up with some salt and pepper? You wanna give it the olive oil? There is a good amount of fat in the mix, right? But you're still gonna add a tiny bit of olive oil to help with that brownie. Here you go, nice drizzle over the top. A lot of restaurants, a lot of home cooks will be using a squeeze bottle nowadays for a dressing or an olive oil. That's perfect, man. Don't need to go too crazy. Awesome. What temp are we cooking them at? We're at 400 today, right? 400, what, 15 minutes or so? Go ahead. It's gonna get them going. Hit the set your timer, and we're off. What do you think, 10, 15 minutes? We're gonna start making some sauce next. What do you think? You gonna do it? Let's go, man. You're gonna pull the whole thing out. Our sauce is pretty basic. We got some tomatoes we're gonna blend up. Do the whole peeled tomatoes. They're a nice, great quality. Loaded up well. And add in some of that nice fresh basil. We'll throw a few leaves in with that we need. Okay. So Will's got our awesome tomato puree, right? You could use canned already pureed tomatoes if you want. And before we jump in, let's show them what we're working with. We got a little pot here. Just a little bit of garlic, right? Frying up a little bit for us. Just getting fragrant. You don't want it too crazy. And then Will's gonna go ahead. We're just gonna add it in, man. Nice. You got a little bubble here and there. That's perfect. Put it off to the side. Get rid of that guy. We gotta season it, right? You always gotta season as you go. So good. Hit it with some salt and pepper. What else we got over here? You wanna do some oregano or something, right? You're gonna get that flavor, man. Nice. With some salt. Awesome. So this sauce is pretty quick to make. Technically, it could be ready right now. It all depends on how long you want to wait. Right? Let it cook maybe as long as your meatballs are cooking. You could start this all day, dude. You could start this in the morning, let it cook the whole time. Sometimes we do that at work. It just rolls the whole day, right? That's how you get the good meatballs. It's just cooking all day long. Nice, man. Okay, we got our pot. Let's get our pasta cooking too while we're here, right? Nothing crazy, man. Nothing crazy, right? Just flipping the pasta, you want to slip it in there. Some salted water, right? Throw a little extra in there, some good measure. We got our tongs. We got Hazel here today, right? Nice, should cook up quick. So again, that sauce will cook on like medium-high heat. If you're using fresh pasta, it'll go a lot faster. All right, so we're bubbling, our timers are rolling. Look, about 5 minutes for each of them, okay? Not bad. Want to give this a stir? And then we need a ladle, right, to keep an eye on our sauce. Multitasking, read the Will. It's a big one in the kitchen, I love it. Keep it up, man. What would you eat if it was your last meal? Meatballs? You sure? It's a good pick, man. Who's making them, though? You? Or me? Me? You want me to make? What do you think about spaghetti? We close? What we got? 2 minutes left? Right, cool. So I like to test it, right? So I always like to take one out, put it on the cutting board, let it cool a little bit, right? It's pretty hot. Give it a rip. Maybe a little longer. It's still pretty stiff. You could always break it apart, take a look on the inside. So these meatballs, they cook in the oven, right, for a little bit, and then they're gonna cook in that sauce too. So it's gonna take 5 minutes or so in the sauce. The longer, the better. Patience, right? You gotta be patient. Yeah, it's good. Right here, you hold them up. You do the meatballs, I'll do the sauce. You could top this with breadcrumbs if you wanted a little crunch, right? That'd be nice and homey. These look delicious, man. Look at this. Go ahead, keep loading them up. How many you eat? Like 2, 3? 3? Yeah, I'm going for 3 too. We make all kinds of different things at Will's Place. Oh yeah, dude. Oh wow. They're so tender, man. The panade, all the eggs, the milk, all those fresh veggies, the herbs, that makes them so soft. You can taste everything. Delicious, man. Way to go. So we got these all the time at Will's Place for our meatball subs, right? But on November 20th, we've got our pasta night. That's gonna be cool. Can't wait, man. We're gonna have this one there for sure. All right, nice work, man. Nice job.